Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren's a Democrat of California. She serves on the Judiciary Committee and participated in the hearing today with FBI Director Wray. She was also a member of the January 6th panel, and she joins me now. I wonder, how tuned in are the minority members of the committee, like yourself, to this conspiracy theory? Was it surprising to hear members of Congress talk about it and try to further spin it on the very day that Fox is sued over, essentially pushing this?
Well, the question is, do they believe it, or are they just trying to foist a conspiracy theory on a gullible Republican public? But it's, this conspiracy has been around for a while. As a matter of fact, the January 6th committee interviewed Mr. Epps under oath, and he said he wasn't an agent or hadn't been ever connected by the FBI. We tried to get the Department of Justice to make a statement, and their policy, along with the FBI's, they never discuss agents or anyone like that, people. So what they ended up doing was filing a piece of information under oath with the court because it was part of an evidentiary matter. They would do that so that they are on record as saying, he wasn't ever connected with the government. But that was not good enough for the people who were trying to shift blame. I mean, today, Congressman Nels told the FBI director that they were focusing on arresting Grandma and Grandpa in the Capitol, which is absurd. You remember when the president called Kevin McCarthy and during the riot and tried to suggest that it wasn't his people. And McCarthy said, yes, these are your people, and they've just run through my office. And ever since then, they've been trying to say it wasn't us, but it is. It's the Trump supporters who participated in this riot at the request of the then president.
Yeah, and I just want to emphasize something you just said, because I think it's important for understanding the sort of insidiousness with which this whole tale was spun, which is, and I've watched a fair amount of the content about it. Basically, the idea was they know, the folks that were alleging that Epps was an informant or something, that the DOJ will not, as a matter of policy, deny it. So they kept saying, well, why don't you just deny it? They won't say. They won't say. And anytime a confidential informant showed up in a court filing, maybe this is Epps, and they knew that they wouldn't, it was all just very, cravenly manipulative, knew exactly what they were doing to create a condition where they're not going to deny it, until finally there was this court filing where they basically did, which is what, if I'm not mistaken, Wray was referring to, right, in his back and forth with ISA.
Correct. The DOJ, it was such a big deal that this poor man was, being victimized, that the Department of Justice, they couldn't make a statement publicly, but they could file a true statement with the court. And that's what they did to clear it up. But of course, people who are trying to pretend that the rioters weren't Trump supporters are not going to accept that, because that's really not their goal. Their goal is not the truth. It's the exact opposite, to try and spin what happened into something else. It's ridiculous, but it's also very destructive, because they have convinced some Republicans that somehow January 6th was a peaceful protest. It's absurd. Don't believe your lying eyes, but that's what they're trying to do.
Final question for you. How do you understand the dynamics of Republican conservative animus towards the FBI as an institution, towards Director Wray in particular? It seems almost a sort of unanimously held conservative belief now that the FBI is bad. And we've gone through periods before, obviously under Clinton, in the wake of Ruby Ridge and Waco, there were Republicans who sort of took a kind of anti-FBI line. But how do you understand it now?
Well, it's very weird. I'm not Ray's biggest fan. In fact, he's a Trump holdover. And if anything, the FBI has been too deferential to Trump.
Yes.
They held up the investigation of Trump as part of the riot instigation for a year. They tried to stop the execution of the warrant even though there were classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. So, what the Republicans are saying is actually the exact opposite. But I think this vilification of law enforcement is because they are proceeding under the law to hold Trump accountable. They can't stand that.
I'd urge anyone to think the FBI has gone woke to read just one